Like, dude, yeah.
I'm not into watching people eat, but it doesn't bother me.
Oh, we're already live. There we are. Oh, we're just talking about mukbang.
That was the
because that's delayed.
30 seconds.
Yeah. We're talking about, all right, here we go. Mukbang. Look up that word.
Cheers, everybody.
I don't know what that is, but watch people eat.
Mukbang. Go look it up. Johnny, what is it?
Bang.
Mukbang. We were just talking about eating and people watching people eat, and it's called mukbang.
Speaking of which, this one you're all about to watch me do is Dennis drops off the cheeseburger from Coop's, always massively crafted, and I'm mowing that thing, and you're going to watch me do it. So that's what brought this topic up. Yeah, mukbang.
Mukbang.
We're going to talk about point pie and just going to watch some mukbang, whatever.
Mukbang.
Mukbang. Mukbang. Mukbang. Mukbang. That's what
Like
people.
bang.
Oh, all right. I'm just the first I've heard of it. We were talking about like it's a thing people enjoy watching other people eat.
They do.
Drive some
Especially
people
like
crazy.
the crisp
Some
of
people
the
are indifferent.
fries.
We're all on the board.
Oh, is that like AS?
ASMR, yeah.
People
Crunch into those fries right now. Crunch into a fry.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Let's hear it.
You're a weirdo.
That was good, Chris.
It's a little weird if you're into it, but
Hey, if you're
It's
into it,
fucking good.
I guess there's worse things that you go into. So obviously we got an action-packed show tonight. We got Mo Kinani, fresh off his huge win this past weekend at Combat FC. He'll be taking on Peter Barrett with that one out of the way, coming in on a nice win streak. Taking on Peter Barrett, who's also going to be on the show tonight, probably a little bit around 9. And then we have the Nigerian Ninja, Will Asia, on the show. We're going to talk a little bit about the UFC, talk about the events this weekend. There was an NEF, there was Combat FC, but I know Mo's on already, so why don't we just jump right into it and bring on Mo Kinani?
why not? I mean, he's here. He's making time out of this night, so why the hell not? Mo Kinani, how you doing, man? Welcome to the table.
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Can't hear you.
All right, here we go. Let's get his
Let me figure that
up
out.
on Joe. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Loud and clear. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing all right.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Looking handsome after this weekend. It doesn't even look like you got in a fight.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, that was the game plan, man. Just stay on the outside and just pick them apart, and I believe I did that.
Yeah. So they did share one piece. It was a little scary at the end of round 1. You almost looked like you had your back. What were you thinking?
That was an amateur mistake, you know. I got confused when they gave us the 10-second before the end rounds, you know, when they do the claps, and I got confused that by the end of the round, and I kind of let go, and I was in a bad situation. I tried to stay calm, and I'm like, it's 10 seconds anyways, and that was the longest 10 seconds of my life.
I did hear that one of the snafu of the night was they had a cowbell instead of like the ring clapper or something. And a fight.
There was a lot of confusion that happened that night, yeah.
Yeah, but you came out victorious. You know, was this the first time you've gone the distance in your pro career?
Yes, as a pro, yes.
So how was that experience? You know, to be in such like a dogfight, you learn some new stuff about yourself, being able to go that distance. Because usually you're like right in, right out, and you handle business quick.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, Nate insisted on me fighting the slow fight. He brought up the O'Brien fight, and he said that the best I looked, and he wanted to see that again. So a finish was not in mind really going into that fight. Just wanted to show more tools and show tactical striking.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had 18 pro fights already to his name. He was easily the most experienced professional fighter that you had faced, and you step up and you handled it like a pro. And when adversity came your way, you were able to stay composed, survive, and strategically stay ahead on the scorecard throughout the round. It was a pretty damn impressive performance, if I say so myself.
Yeah, man, it's all about growing. It's all about growing every fight.
And like speaking on that, you're keeping that trajectory, fighting your easily now most accredited and highly touted opponent to date, and Peter Barrett. And I remember talking to you before you even made your pro debut, and you were talking on this fast track trajectory. You wanted that big fight. You to see you kind of play out the plan that you laid out for me. It's really impressive. I've got so much respect for you, so much respect for Pete, and I'm so antsy to call this fight, but this is exactly what you called before you even went pro. You want to take a bunch of fights, get on a roll, take some experience fights, and you want big names by the end of this year. How does it feel to be finally at that moment?
Hopefully, man. I've never turned down a fight. I've been asking for big fights my whole career, but you know the game, man. And finally, that name came up, and I could not turn that down, man. That's a fight that excites me. I feel ready for it. I've been waiting for it for a long time. Peter Barrett been around for a long, long time, and me as an amateur fighter coming up, I saw all his fights. I saw him fighting multiple times when he was headlining a few cards that I attended and watched. It's pretty cool to be able to be at that level, to actually share the cage with him.
I will say it's funny. You mentioned you've kind of keep your eye on him, but I think Nate and I have mentioned this as a fight before. I remember when you were like 0-0, going pro, 1-0. He's like, dude, I know Mo has the skills. He'd be taking on Barrett's and of the world and things. And he mentioned that to me. And then finally I was like, hey, I know you had to pump the brakes on Mo trying to jump into the deep end, at 1-0 and 0-0. Like, what do you think? It's time now? And he was like, let me talk to Mo because, I know that this is the type of fight that's going to put him at that next level with a win. And here we are today. So I'm pretty stoked for it.
Yeah, me too, man.
What excites you about the matchup specifically with Pete? Give me a couple of key points that you
Well, Peter's a big name, man. Peter's a big name. That's the first of it. And second of all, Pete can fucking fight, man. And that's what I'm all about. I want to be in there. I want to feel threatened. And that pushed me to train. I've had the best camps in my life when I'm facing a game opponent. And this is what I'm thinking about this fight. It's a fight that's going to push me in my camp and the fight itself. Stylistically, Peter Barrett, highly tactical violence is not so tactical. He's just kind of a wild puncher. And I feel like my style is extremely precise and powerful. And I feel like I'm the worst stylistic matchup for him.
I like it. I did notice that you threw a little dig, like when we made the fight, you actually had your story. It was like highly calculated violence, and I'm like, I think that's going on.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Well, I gotta say, like my first interaction with you, I think goes back to Noria Bra when you fought for our title, and he missed weight, and I remember talking to you, and I called Nate afterwards. I was like, yo, this guy's a fucking great killer. Like you just like dead eye me, like I don't care, I'm fucking him up. Oh, okay. I was like, nice to meet you too, Mo. He's like, I don't care what he weighs, I'm fucking killing it. I'm paraphrasing, I'm probably, but that was what I felt like you said to me. You were just like, I'm fucking killing this kid.
Pretty much, that was probably the intention, no matter what I said.
And I called Nate and I was like, hey, you didn't tell me like had a guy that will literally body bag somebody. Like, you guys are pretty intense. Yeah, I will say though. Yeah, then you got you and Smythe. How's it feel having such a great squad around you? How do you guys off each other?
Oh man, it feels great. The camaraderie is great. Evolution Athletics, we all push each other to the max. There's that little friendly competition in the room. Who's gonna run faster? Who's gonna show a bigger gas tank today? And pushes everybody to be the best. All those young guys at the gym, man, they push us to be the absolute best. Especially Tyler. Tyler has been on the same boat as I am, training day in and day out. And it feels awesome having people on the same mission as you on the team.
Yeah, man, when you just mentioned, like just kind of preview, and I want to get into the Pete fight because we're going to have him later on. Maybe we might kind of needle you to give us some ammunition when he comes on. But I will say, like, when Nate and I finally made this fight, we were both kind of like, oh my God, this is fucking insane. Like, we were both kind of like fanboying. Nate, and he's your coach, but we were fanboying together. And then Saturday night after your fight, him and I were texting. And he's like, did you see that shit? And I'm like, I saw that shit. And he's like, oh, this is going to be fucking fun. I'm like, there it is. And I think that these are the type of matchups New England needs to see. where guys are testing themselves. And, this has that adage of like, two high-level guys in the local scene right now, usually they try to avoid each other. Here you are taking each other on. I also think a layer of that is like, you're the young, hungry lion trying to come up and kind of get into that UFC path. He's been there. He's trying to get back there. So, like, I think that's another dynamic to this fight.
Absolutely, man. Listen, I dropped out of college. I dropped out of college to do MMA. I only have few years to do this shit. I can get my degree whenever. So I'm not getting any younger. If I can't keep up with the Peter Barretts, then what makes me think I can keep up with the top dogs of the UFC, where I want to be? So I think it's now or never. It's time to test myself and see where that takes me.
Yeah, I love the hunger. And what were we just talking about not too long ago? About this being passing of the torch moment where someone who was in the UFC before you even made your pro debut, and now within 2 years of you making that pro debut, you're challenging this kid. Like, talk about a passing of the torch moment. How valuable is that torch? There's not a title shot on the line, but a big old torch.
It feels like it. Feels like a title shot, man.
Yeah. Sure. I actually, we there's a lot. Nate and I. We'll keep some stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Johnny wants to see a cat. I know Johnny's a big animal lover. And he needs
I don't know where
to
she went, but she'll come back. She'll come back. There's plenty of them. There's 3 running around, so you'll see it.
You got 3 cats?
Oh, my girlfriend has them. Yeah. Well, my girlfriend has 2, and my mother has 1. I'm staying with my parents currently because my mother's not doing so well. My father's injured, and they need the hand around the house. And yeah, they're helping me out too, big time.
What's the cat's names?
I have a Toby, we have Numi, and we have Chepe.
Awesome. So let me ask you this. Obviously, I feel like you found.
You guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. I feel like you found your.
It was cutting up. It's kind of frozen here.
Oh, can you hear us though?
I can hear you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, if your screen
we're back.
freezes, that's okay. But like, I feel like you found your calling as a fighter. It seems like that's something that you had deep in you. When I see your demeanor and the way you fight inside the cage. But like, bring us back before fighting. What was up for Mo before that? Did you play soccer, hockey, football? Were you an athletic kid? Did you play sports? What do you got?
Well, yeah, I grew up with a bunch of cousins that are around my age, a couple of years older, a couple of years younger. And man, they were all freak athletes, freak soccer players, and I had to find my own sport. So early on, I think I was 13 when I decided to do boxing. A few kids from the neighborhood they went and did boxing every night, and I found it very intriguing. I kind of joined in, and that's when I started boxing back home. That's in Baghdad. Then here in high school, a few years later, I came to the United States when I was 16, 2012. I was a sophomore in high school, and I played soccer in high school, and I went to Portland Boxing Club to train once or twice a week, as much as I can. And so I was a boxing guy through and through. And then I met Nate Libby, and that made the switch.
What do you think?
I trained with Nate, and Nate introduced me to jiu-jitsu, really, and we did cage work for a few days, and it was humbling. It was a humbling experience. I thought I was that tough, athletic guy, and I couldn't do shit to jiu-jitsu or grappling, and I remember leaving that place thinking, I want to learn that. I want to be able to do that to somebody, and I never looked back ever since.
What year was that? You said you moved here in 2012.
I met him when I was 21 years old, second year of college. Yeah, that was 2018, 2017.
So 5 years, 6 years, no Nate. What were you going to college for?
Business management.
And then my last question on the Nate story is, how did you meet him? Was it through the gym, or is it just like a chance?
Yeah. So Portland Boxing Club is really hard to get into and to get some rounds in. especially sparring. They're very particular about who they bring up to the ring and all that. They take care of their own. So I think Nate owned Team Irish, who was Recon at the time, and the town I lived in Westbrook. And I checked it out online, and they had a controlled sparring class on Wednesdays. So prior to that, I went there for a week just to kind of shake the rust out and hit the bags. I joined in some of these classes, and kind of Nate took me aside a few times, and he was like, "You boxed in the past?" Asked me all these questions, and then he asked me to show up to team training on a Saturday. So I did that, but I didn't do much in team training. I just kind of grappled with Nate for a couple rounds, and I was gassed the fuck out and hurt. And yeah, I just kind of washed, and I fell in love with the sport, man.
Yeah.
Usually happens on the first day.
Yeah, definitely. We've all experienced that. Obviously, Johnny's fought 40 times, and Andy's fought. I fought before I started Cage Titans, so we all know what that's like. You know, the first day of grappling is never fun.
Never forget it either.
And much like you, like I remember, I think I told the story last week. My first day walking into a gym, I'm like, yeah, I'm a tough guy. And I got my ass handed to me, and I was like, oh shit, there's something to this. And I had that kind
It's
of
humbling.
you mentioned. Yeah, I was like, ah, shit, maybe I need to do some more of this. Johnny, you got any questions about the matchup in particular?
Not at all. I heard you guys are gonna have plenty of fights. A couple cards that day.
Yeah.
What's the dynamics with that? Have you guys figured that out yet?
Yeah, so we're having a day. Obviously, we had a day-night doubleheader. You were a part of it back at Cage Titans 50.
I was.
Night doubleheader. Honestly, sometimes I don't have enough going on with 5 kids, a restaurant, and Cage Titans, and all the other shit. I just said, screw it, we're going to do 2 cards. But you know what it is like.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah. You know, he's like, I got 5 guys. We want to get everybody on the card. And I don't want to say no to anybody. So I'm like, all right, Nate, let me see what I can do. And then I got Triforce, who gives me 3 or 4 names. And I got all these gyms that want to compete for Cage Titans. And, you know, for me, when I started Cage Titans, like, I wanted to have a promotion that fighters, I felt when I was fighting, people fought for promotions that were shitbags because they had no other options. So they had to fight for those shitty promotions that were around. So now, like, part of my thing is if somebody gives me their name, I'm doing everything on my power to match them. So we had so many names. I was just like, all right, I can't do just 1 card anymore. So we have 12 pro fights at night, and we have 18 fights, pro and amateur during the day.
That's awesome, man. Love the idea of it. Definitely the last time I was there, you guys had a great success when you guys hosted 2 cards in one day, and can't wait for it. Love it. That's why we appreciate you, Mike.
I appreciate you, man. I mean, honestly, you guys can fight for anybody, and it really humbles me that when people choose to fight for us, like, that's why I'm like, dude, they want to fight for us, I'm going to do what I can do. But anyways, we're going to have a great night. If you're getting I know that Nate is pushing me to put you on the day card with the amateur fighters. Don't tell him. I'm going to try to work on him because I really want to see you guys on the night card. I'm going to try to see what I can do with him to convince him otherwise. You know, but there was talks either you and Pete being the main event for the daytime card. You know, because we have a couple pro fights on the day card along with the amateur fights. So maybe you guys headline that. That was what his wish was. My wish is to kind of have you as like on the main on the nighttime all pro card because we've never done an all pro card. In our 13-year history. Yeah. So I the first time we do an all pro card, all 12 pro fights, I want to come big, and I would love to see you on that night card. But if Nate pushes me, I might move you to it. Hey, that's what you're asking.
We'll figure that out, man. Either way, I'll show up to bang.
I know. All right. So before we let you go, did you have a question?
Prediction. Any prediction?
Predictions.
All right.
I'm just gonna go out there and.
Hold on. Let's bring him up full screen because I want everybody to see what his answers are. So let's pull down the comments. Let's pull him full screen. And Johnny, give him the question again so he can answer and everybody can see.
Do you have a prediction for the fight with Pete?
I don't. It's really tough to predict a fight like that. I'm fighting a game opponent for the first time in a while. I'm just gonna go out there and do my thing. Try to be as technical as I possibly can. Be strong and give him nothing. Take everything. Simple as that.
All right. Before, I know you mentioned a little earlier, in my last kind of questions, you don't have to give away game plans, but like, what stands out about Pete that you're worried about, if anything? I mean, like what, some of the things that, you mentioned the violence and things like that. You kind of mentioned that he's a wild striker, but there's got to be something good in there that you might be a little worried about, if anything, maybe not.
No, his IQ, simply. So simple as that. His IQ. The guy been fighting for a long, long time. He's been in the cage with the best of the best. It's just his IQ and how he can manipulate the fight to win it. It's gonna be a game of chess.
And my last thing for you, it's been a little while since the fans of Cage Titans have seen you. Remind them right now what they should expect from a Mo Al-Kinani fight on Fight.
Man, you should expect nothing less but violence. Highly technical violence, huh? Is that how he says it? I don't know. Definitely English is not my first language, so I might have chopped that off. But just know that I'm going to show up there and take everything and steal the show and make it mine. I know it's the Peter Barrett show. It has been for a long time. Every time I've been there, he sells out most of the arena. You guys going to be booing after the fight. You guys going to be booing after the fight. Because I'm going to smash your boy in front of all of you.
I love it, man. Just for the record, everybody's our boy. But the fans, yes, I got you. We love you, Mo. I'm stoked to have you fight. Yeah, you're our boy too, man. It's everybody's.
I appreciate you guys.
We hope fight is highlight fight. Jack Dolak.
So that, Andy.
Fight is prime time. It is as prime time as it gets, and
it's as prime time as it gets. But his poor coach doesn't want to be in Mass all day and all night. He wants to get home to his wife and kids. But hey, if you can do me a favor, wink, wink, give Nate a nudge and be like, "Hey, Nate,
Coach has got a coach.
We got a hotel. We don't got to worry about it." Like, you need that.
I'll see what I can do. No promises, but I'll see what I can do.
Like Zach Cyril, he finally said something that was smart. He goes, "Mo's not a daytime fighter; he's a primetime fighter." So there you go. Thank you so much for coming on with us. There you go, March 18th. We cannot wait to see you.
Sponsors, teammates, shout out kind of thing.
Yeah, anybody?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my coaches. I don't have any sponsors. Shout out to my coaches that have been there with me through thick and thin. My family and friends who show up to every fight, no matter how far it is. It's all for them. It's all for them.
Nate already texted me. He goes, "Not fucking happening." And Keegan goes, his wife is fine with it. She wants him gone. So prime time, Mo Al-Kinani. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love that they're watching though. Shout out to Nate Libby and Keegan Hornstra. Keegan Hornstra, I don't like you, but you're good.
you like you.
No, it's just me. He always loved this shit. He always shits on. Keegan fought on the very first Cage Titans card. You fought on the very first Cage Titans card. I'll never forget. He sent us. Sorry, Keegan. We love you, spot. He must have been such a Jew sent back. We like this backwoods Maine guy. Like I think his fighter picture that he sent us was like him bench pressing. it was crazy.
Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, it was nuts. But Keegan's been a good dude. Actually, long before like table type things like that. Keegan and I, fun fact, we had a podcast called the MMA Horn. He had it, and then I helped him. I made the logo for him, and then we kind of did it together. It was actually like a radio show. That's how fun. But anyways, what do you guys think, man? Mo Kinani versus
Man,
High level. This is
high.
like UFC type of series level fight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As seasoned of a veteran as a seasoned veteran can get, Peter Barrett has fought top-notch competition, all the platforms, and making a strong case on a huge win streak of his own, coming off of some brutal finishes. He had some close fights when back to Chase and Ali. Those were close fights leading up to it. So he's still really streaking and in upper echelon, coming off of one of the most spectacular highlights of his career. Here's Mo Alkinani calling him out, campaigning for that fight.
I like what he did.
5-1.
Highly calculated violence is
Yeah.
Pete's thing. Highly technical violence is Mo's. I love that.
And it's a tremendous clash. And both guys have the abilities to finish each other. Both have the abilities to survive each other. I could see it ending in a dynamic way, so many different ways. And I could see it going the distance and it being an absolute classic that everybody's going to remember for a long time. So I love the fight. And after hearing Mo, and I'm sure even more so after hearing Pete later on tonight, I'm going to be even that much more excited for it. Once it was made, it was already giddy. And that's not even the co-main event. That's how stacked this card is. Yeah, we got 2 cards.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when you put that fight that on any other given show, that's the main event. But now you got Joe Giannetti at the top against a UFC vet in Luigi Vendramini. You get the party versus Duma for the title. You got this one, and then if you missed it this week,
is like Cage Titan's 100.
Yeah. There you go.
This is what
Cage
it feels
Titan's 100. I mean, it was like Cage Titan's 50, but I feel like this is
pretty good.
yeah. And then if you missed the announcement this weekend, Jacob Bone, who was previously announced against Brandon Marat, is no longer fighting Marat, and he is taking on Ali Zabian, 9-2. Tremendous lightweight to throw in that mix. I might even be a little bit more excited about this fight than I was the original fight. Ali 9-2. His last victory for Cage Titans was against Peter Barrett in back and forth war. You look at that lightweight division right now. Cage Titans. You throw the names Ali Zabian, Jacob Bone, Mo Alkinani, Peter Barrett, Joe Giannetti, Luigi Vendramini. Let's not forget Zach DiSabatino, who's 11-2, who's part of that lightweight Cage Titans division.
Got ourselves a full top 10 around
Yeah,
here.
it's crazy. Cody Rhodes, the daytime card is going to be starting at 12 o'clock. I know the comments not on the screen. You can see here. And somebody asked, you need 2 tickets. Yes, this is 2 separate events. There is a daytime card event, Cage Titans 58 day, and then there's a second ticket for Cage Titans night. For those who want to see the full card as of right now, Tapology does have it listed. They have it listed as one event because of their back end stuff. They couldn't do events, but
Did you say the times?
12 o'clock. Did I just say that?
12.
Maybe I'm
Okay.
crazy.
No,
Did I?
you make
12 o'clock for the daytime card, 7 o'clock for the night. But it is 2 separate cards, 2 separate start times, 2 separate tickets. But yeah, man, what do you think? I mean, Fabian thrown in the mix, big time fight against Bone. Bone, who's fought Barrett. Bone, who's fought Giannetti for the title.
Absolute dog.
Fight of
and
the year winner for 2022.
durable and dangerous if they make him, coming off a win, getting some momentum behind him, and Xavier, who is just on a surge right now.
Yeah,
This is quite a fight to step in on this notice, on this card, with this much notoriety going on behind it. This is really shaping up the first all-pro card. Stacking it would be an understatement, and this fight.
This is quite stacked.
I'm just learning of this recently. That fight being booked.
Chance Beck is another guy that we've actually worked a couple times to try to get him back up there. And he's in a tournament himself in April, so like he's always in. Nate Williams is another guy who's thrown his name in there. Definitely 55 is a good time to get on.
A lot of big fights coming up. Saul Almeida still looking all right.
Yeah, he actually hit me up yesterday and asked me when our next card is after this one, so May 27th. I told him. Man,
He's a problem for a lot of
it's
people.
good to
too.
be alive
It's-
right about now.
Oh man.
So yeah. Anyways, speaking of guys, a good time to be around. If you're posting on Twitter, make sure you use hashtag Favorite Titans. on Twitter or YouTube or.
Speaking of 55, who's taking on Volk or Islam next?
I was going to say either that or shout out to Don Shanis. If you guys missed out this
Yes.
weekend, Don Shanis at UFC Perth 284. Came up a little short in the decision, but he definitely showed the UFC and the world what he's all about. A hard-nosed, grinding fighter. And, I don't think that 30-second loss in his debut was any indication of who he is.
Against the top
10 guy,
guy.
in his UFC debut on 3 weeks' notice. So
Yeah.
I think we got to see a lot more out of Don Shanis and who he is and what he has to offer. A gritty performance.
Yeah, it was a dogfight too. In the fight the whole entire time, there were moments where like kicked out, landed one back, showing some gangster moments right there. Flying halfway around the world, a definite life experience, and he did not disappoint whatsoever. Really showed his heart and that he belongs there. And
Yeah.
Good time out there.
Get at me, Mike.
Safe travels back, so.
What's up, Kels? I know you sent me
boy.
two names. I'm trying. I know. I said to Andy the other day, I was like, honestly, I think I could have had a third card Friday night because I'm still getting names that I'm like, shit. Like Kels gave me two names that I haven't even matched yet.
Whoa.
I'm not really going to
find a weekend in April or something, not Friday night before a doubleheader, you fucking lunatic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we did talk about that, but I did not be like, oh yeah, let's just do a Friday night. No, don't pin
I
that
didn't
like
say
we
you said it. I just said that I
brainstormed
threw it at you.
No, you did not.
I just said, I mentioned it Andy the other day.
You threw that at me.
What about Sunday morning fight card?
Brunch.
A brunch?
Have you seen the condition we're in at brunch? Lifeless zombies, and you can still smell the booze and monster all hanging out with our skin and clothes. We haven't slept in 4 days. We're gonna perform another fight card. It's not happening.
All right, whatever. Anyways, any update from the commission about kids kickboxing match? So the story behind that is that they don't sanction anybody in the state under 18. The reason why boxing has it because the sanctioning body USA Boxing. So I know No Boundaries is looking into setting up a sanctioning organization. So there is some talks. I don't know how deep it's gone. I mean, shit. I just had to do a double header. I don't know if I want to add matching kids to the mix, but maybe I know that there's interest there, and I want to see Muay Thai, get some more love. Yeah, I guess everybody hates me. Yeah, it still had to be. It still have to be
Like
sanctioned
no
because of
punches.
strikes. Yeah, I'm very excited. Mike Albrecht, my buddy from Vegas, but now he's in Nebraska. He's flying out for the day night for his first paycheck. You know him.
That's gonna be
Spend
great.
some time.
Yep.
I like Justin Seavey's idea: punches in brunches.
Love it.
So yeah, man, that's not some bad idea. Also, I'm thinking about it. This is just out of again because I think crazy shit. I was thinking. So my wife's huge into yoga. What if we did a yoga seminar in the cage the morning of the fights to get us all namaste'd up?
I'm not against it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
You know, what do you think?
Yoga on
You've done
Sunday?
yoga before. I've never done yoga.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, like 7 a.m. early bird
In the
rise in the
cage.
sun in the cage.
How many people?
I haven't fucking thought that out. I'm an idea guy, dude. I'm an idea guy. I don't think things through all the time. I say I just spout shit and then I go.
The grapple.
You do. Tyler Pimenta, I swear to God, I'll loosen every bolt on the cage.
I bet that Pete would dig that. He might.
I mean,
I know he gets like.
so I know that people think I'm crazy. Like, I don't know. I was just thinking of so my wife goes to yoga like 4 or 5 times a week. And then yoga instructor was talking about looking for a place to do like brunch mimosas type yoga thing. And they were going to do it at Tavern on the Wharf.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, getting like a stretch in, yoga in before the morning to get kind of namaste'd up.
Meditative.
Yeah, I thought that'd be kind of cool.
I agree.
Nick Hyla's in for the yoga. We don't think you're crazy. We know you're crazy. Thanks, Tyler. My man Tyler always keeps me in check. Zach Cyril says the worst idea ever. I see a lot of the fighters like kind of like stretching and doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, we could have a yoga session. We could have I don't know, pass a joint around in a circle, go do some yoga, be all refreshing in the morning.
I
Have
do not
some
condone
coffee.
that part.
Let's go.
Anyways,
You don't do yoga either, so
you
what
will
the hell?
not do it, Mike. I promise. I will not do it. Mike,
Oh, Jesus!
don't have
Why
it.
do you think he did that?
Man.
He's going to be in yoga pants.
Me and my Lululemons. Nah, just kidding. Anyways, enough of my crazy shit. Do I really want to see Big Mikey doing yoga in the middle of the cage?
Yes.
I don't know, man. Listen, I'm about bringing the community together, and I just thought we got a spot. They had a church sermon inside the Cage Titans cage one time, and I thought that was kind of cool.
What?
One time we had
When was this?
this was probably 6, 7, 8 years ago at Memorial Hall. They do church on Sundays there. They stopped doing it because the church finally built their own church. But it was a Father's Day weekend card, and the following day, which was a Sunday, was Father's Day, and they were like, "Hey, this is kind of weird, but like, would you be cool if like leave the cage up? We're gonna do our church seminar." Like the whole church. I didn't go to the ceremony. But
Cage Titans for Jesus.
it was. They had the cage, like literally fresh fucking blood from the night before.
Not the blood of Christ.
and-
The
yeah.
blood of Cage Titans.
Like he came down and like the pastor came down in like a rocky robe, and like it was all about like fighting your demons and fighting the inner devil, and I don't know.
I love it. That's so great. Yeah, that's good.
And my last crazy
I go to that
idea,
church.
I won't give the crazy idea away because it wasn't mine. Shout out to Danny Jefferson who hit up Nick after last week's Table Titans. We had Brody McDougal on and threw the idea out there: Cage Titans versus Fire and Police charity hockey game. So
I have never been on skates, so I'm
well,
not.
you don't have to
playing that
play. You
game.
can
I'll commentate.
you can open the
I'll
close the door.
commentate. Yeah, I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, we got him in. So that's another thing. Shout out to Danny Jefferson. That right
I
now,
like this.
obviously, we're a little busy with March 18th, but we can maybe shoot the March charity hockey game against the Police and Fire. There you go.
That could be fun.
That would be fun. I mean, we got Johnny, we got me, Nick's a goalie, Brody McDougal, Danny Jefferson's a hockey player. There's plenty of hockey players. Yeah. So there we go. Anyways, we got Will Asia on, the Nigerian Ninja. I think he's logged in. Let's see if we got him. He logged in, logged off, logged in, logged off, logged in, logged off. Don't know if he's ready. Is he there? He's logged in.
He's back.
Not here. Oh, he's not here. He logged off again? Yeah, well. Wait, 2 minutes for us to finish our thought. He'll be back. When he's here, just throw him on the screen and we'll just stop what we're doing so we don't miss him again. Anyways, somebody was mentioning the Volkanovski versus Islam. Islam clearly beat Volk, by the way. That's what Cyril's saying.
Hey, there you guys go.
Are we here?
Here.
What's up? Y'all are random. You showed up in my existence. What's up, y'all? Hey, I just finished training. Good to see you guys. But I gotta turn up the volume. Give me a second. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, word. I can hear you guys. Good.
Awesome.
How y'all doing?
How's it feel, man? You're not one to shy away from the camera, not one to shy away from challenges.
Yeah, no, I got the.
I got one.
Here we are.
No, yeah, I just finished training. Sorry, connection's super weird. I'm in Rhode Island, so if you can't hear me or if you can't hear me, let me know. Hear me?
Sound good.
Oh,
All right.
you good?
I can't hear y'all, so hold up. I don't know what's going on here.
Can't hear us. So
Sorry, just
I could
talk.
tell you guys that I've been
Talk
training
about
just
it.
now. Anyway, so yeah, since y'all can hear me, I just finished training, doing a whole bunch of work over here in Pride. Just did hours of sweating, did some sparring, some great guys. Hopefully some guys who will also be on that Cage Titans card. We got some killers over here throwing head kicks at me, doing moves that usually I do to people. So it's pretty cool. How you guys been? I can't hear you,
Good, man.
so don't answer yet.
Hear us?
I have to fix this. Give me a second. Trying to see what happens. I gotta see if I do some
Can hear
shenanigans
us.
here.
Can you hear us?
He said he
Oh,
can't
You
hear us.
can't hear us, so
He said-
still no, you cannot
Hold on.
hear us, you can hear us,
Hold on.
Said don't answer.
don't
He
answer.
said don't answer.
All right, go yell or
Hard
say
to know
something.
if
Say
you can
something,
hear us
yell.
or not if we're
Say some
talking.
shit.
Can you hear us?
Okay, no, you're still gone.
No, we
Hold
can't
on.
hear us.
I have to do it again.
It's not on my end.
All right, now I can hear you guys. What's up? All right.
Here we go. All right, all right.
Mike, say
That was
something.
You can define it.
Fuck. Say something, Mike.
Hey, you can hear me?
All right, yeah, I got you. Okay, what's up?
You know what it was? I bet you were Bluetooth to your car.
Say it again.
You were probably Bluetooth to your car speakers.
I don't know. My car's Bluetooth is not hooked up. I was trying to use that. That would have been helpful.
But hey,
Right now, I just gotta use my good old fashioned Negro ears. So these are hood ears. We listen out for thieves. Okay. This is. I grew up in Dorchester. I can hear everything.
Ah.
So Will, it's been a little while since you've been with us. What have you been up to in the last? What has it been? About a year?
Yeah, man, it's been a while. So after I beat Julie, I started training a little bit harder and try to work on certain special moves. Recently, dialing in on my finishing move that I want to show you guys March 18th. It's gonna be pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Working on getting in shape, staying lean, staying awesome as usual. You know me. I have awesome plans set up for March 18th. So it's gonna be a show, guys. I look drained right now. I'm gonna look pretty as fuck March 18th. Don't worry. Gotcha.
Well, I gotta give you. Somebody's always impressed with your image. You took the picture that I made for tonight's show as the marketing piece, and you added your own picture.
Oh yeah. No, Mike, I gotta help you. I show you how to do it, dude. I got you. Like I would never.
I made the graphic.
Like-
I know how to do it, but I take it you didn't like.
But dude, I look at this. Don't worry. That's why I got you. And for the little tiny mistakes, I got you guys. I'm here to help.
You didn't like the picture, I'm assuming.
It's not that I didn't like the picture. It's that you picked the wrong one.
The one that you picked, your face in the, you can't even see your face.
No, yeah. I gotta have the look.
Okay.
You have to look good. What you mean?
All right.
I miss you guys. I wish I was there. I would have dropped in live if I could.
Oh man. So Will, I hear you mention Julie's name again. This is something you're just not letting go ever. Like the Julie Connerton fight, you just never look at. You still are angling to get that back one day.
Oh yeah, because I beat him. Because so the way I look at this, right? You know how you know what happened this weekend when they honey-dicked Volk out of his win? So I'm like, all right, you know what? We got to figure this out. Now he's Julie's. He honestly is much more dangerous than my next opponent, but a lot less skilled. So fighting him was fun, but fighting my next opponent, I think is gonna be more of a challenge. Julie, he was an idiot, so he didn't know how to sell the fight or do anything like that. But he was a good, strong athlete, all that jazz. But I beat him. So the way I look at this is I'm moving on from him. If he wants to fight me again in MMA or in a straight up fist fight with knees and elbows, all that punch shit, you know me. I'm always here to do all that stuff. But if he doesn't want to do that again, I'm not here to make anybody fight who doesn't want to fight. Mike, I already talked to you about that.
He's actually fighting MMA on the card.
He's doing MMA. Okay, he doesn't want to fight. He's doing MMA. All right, I'm fighting someone. He's doing MMA. It's different.
I'm gonna have to separate the locker rooms. I can tell,
Yeah.
but he's actually fighting Santi Munoz out of Triforce on at 145.
All right, that's on him. I mean, I'm not running from the lightweight division. Like I said, I want the lightweight division. You already know this. Trying to make that happen. But it's the hardest division to fight in. I don't like the coward divisions where people try to move away from the guys that are challenging. The best guys are at 155. Everybody knows that. When you look at Miguel, when you look at the pro level, Giannetti, even Mo Alcalini, all these guys are like the best guys. Mo Alcalini beats Julie up all the time. So I'm sure he knows how good the 55ers actually are. So for me, I prefer to stay in the division where it counts. He can move around, do what he wants, get beat there, lose there. Like I said, I'm going to be the face of this promotion. You guys know this already.
Will, so obviously we've talked outside of Table Titans. We talk often. you're one of our more confident fighters, and where does that confidence come from? Like, obviously, you've been a martial artist your entire life. You know, where does the confidence come from? From within, like your upbringing, the martial arts background? Where does that come from?
Great question. I trained my whole life, man. I've been training since I was 5 years old. You know, let me move you guys to a better light. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I've been training since I was 5 years old. There's been zero rest in my life for the most part. If I'm not training, it's because of an injury. If I'm not injured, then I'm training. And my work is teaching martial arts and then training afterwards. So I never had a real job. You know, all I did was teach martial arts. I started when I was 16, 17 teaching, and then started making money doing that. Like I said, I skipped out having a real job. I'm really lazy. I don't like doing stuff I don't like to do. So, but hitting people for fun and getting paid for it and teaching children how to do that is very fun. So that's been my thing for the past while. So my confidence comes from how much work I put in, what I know I've done. If you're not confident, that's on them. It's, you know, like I don't count on other people to believe in me. You know, like these people fucking die every day. These people wake and do other things in their life every day. If I need other people to say you're good for me to think I'm good, then, you know, I'll be waiting a long time, right? So the way I look at it, because there's always gonna be somebody going to say you're not. There's always going to be somebody say you're not good, you ain't shit, you're this and that. So I welcome all the things. My opinion matters more than everybody else's in it. So the way I look at it is however I think of myself matters most. So you can say whatever you like, you can think whatever you like, because I already know what I like and it's me. So it doesn't matter. That's what my confidence. And all you guys are awesome. Mike, my confidence comes from you guys. You guys have the best promotion and you let me display my skills in there. And when I get to rewatch the awesome footage and when I look at all of the photos that come out of my amazing performances, even ones that I lose in, I'm like, how do I lose in these? These look amazing. You know, if that's how I lose, imagine what the wins look like. It's going to be phenomenal. So that's where a lot of that confidence does come from, if I'm being honest. It sounds crazy. It sounds egotistical, and it should sound like that because it is. And I like it.
Anybody that jumps into the cage doing a split, and that's how they start the fight. That definitely is confidence. If I don't say so myself.
Also, that was a million views
That's one
up
of the
on
biggest,
TikTok,
and that's one of the biggest. Like that's one of the larger TikTok social media moments, and going up against Nico Mavromatis, who's like kick over Zach Converse. One of the
Oh yeah. Well, one of the reasons why fighting Nico Mavromatis is so interesting is because he has that 9 million view. You know what I mean? Like the guy is a big hot take. He has 9 something views. I pay attention to that shit. I'm gonna take every single one of those guys. So he's a great fighter. He does really cool stuff. But you know how that goes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and I think the message that you sent is important in today's day and age, because in a day and age where like confidence seemingly comes from social media instant gratification, like you just mentioned, it's like you're confident in yourself. You don't care what other people think, say, or whatever. Like you know what you do and the time you put in. You know, so I like to hear that. Some people might be like, "Oh man, we don't want to hear this guy talk about himself," but you know, it's a great message if you kind of wipe that stuff away, because that's what people are into nowadays is like gratification from social media, and you don't care. You block them all out, and you know there's people that love you for it, and there's people that hate you for it. But like you said, you got to look yourself in the mirror every day, and you know what you've done, you know the work you put in, and man, I can admire that.
Oh yeah. And even on the contrary, Mike, in terms of blocking them out, you know, I would say I don't even block them out as much as I invite. You know, I enjoy it. My grandmother used to say, if somebody's not, you know, hating on you, then you did something wrong. You know, for me, the way I look at it is the more people I have who can say what you did, what you're not doing, you know, there's always going to be one person saying what you did do, just don't like that person. You know, so, you know, again, it's not so much about trying to block out any of the bullshit. You absorb it. You know, every coin has a head and a tail side. You don't have any money without both sides of it. You know, and so again, if you can't embrace the negative, you know, then you're eventually going to break. You know, so you have to be able to enjoy it all. The boos are my cheers, in the same way the cheers are my boos sometimes.
Man, I'm gonna have to take that. You don't have the head or tail. You don't have money either way. Will Asia is not fighting MMA. This is a Muay Thai fight, but he has entertained it. Which is something I want to bring up. That energy is real. He called out Miguel Savesin, who's our 55 champion in MMA, and Will's like, I've never done MMA, but fuck it, I'll fight him right now. Like that's the type of confidence and swagger that you bring.
So I've also never had a belt, but so it's the first time for everything, right? That's how I look at it.
There you go. Hey, Zach Cyril wants to know what your favorite anime is. I guess that's something that.
Favorite all time or just favorite right now? I guess favorite all time is somewhere floating between, I guess the classics, Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. Somewhere between that. I gotta give Dragon Ball Z that kind of Anderson Silva thing, but Naruto has that Adesanya thing, the new age awesome, right? I don't know about some of the new shitty anime where everybody looks all gay and weird, but I like the new one, or the old ones. I mean, the ones I like. You know, the ones where people got killed and it was violent.
I don't watch any anime, so Zach.
Not that there's anything wrong with being gay and weird. I think gay and weird is cool. That too.
Oh, I was skipping over the fact that you said gay, but okay. I'm glad you clarified.
We're totally inclusive here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
what do you got?
I appreciate all people. They're all cool.
The Nico Mavromatis matchup, like when you watch him fight, where are your openings?
Oh, wait, speak up, Johnny. I can't really hear you. Can you say that slightly louder for me, champ?
Yeah, where do you think your openings are in this fight when you watch Nico fight?
Hopefully along the forehead and bridge. I'm looking for those to be open. Hopefully midway through the fight or somewhere along midway through the first round. If I had to be honest, I would say my openings are down the center line. I believe my boxing, my punches, my kicks, my footwork, my head movement, my defense, my charisma, strength, speed, agility, name the other stuff. I think that stuff is better.
Yeah.
So basically everything.
I didn't say that. You did, but I appreciate the support, Mike. You're the man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Will, I love it, man.
Actually,
Yeah,
there's gonna be some speed whirling.
spinning and
There's
whirling.
gonna be some crazy shit getting thrown down in this fight. Both of you guys and a certain level of creativity that's gonna pose problems for each other. And both of you guys' experience being in the 3-round wars that you guys.
Oh yeah, I think Nico is awesome, man. Actually, I do think he's an incredible fighter. He's a great dude. I have a big respect for the Greek guys. Those guys always bring heart. Those guys are amazing people. You guys know one of my best friends, Stefanos. Compares, he's the Greek mystique. You know what I mean? So again, I know those guys are amazing. I just know I'm the best guy, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So, but I definitely would like to see them. I'd like to see the Greek mystique and Nico Mavromatis in the same room. That'd be cool.
Oh, nice.
The Greek lion and the Greek mystique.
There we go. Before we let you go, because I know you got to drive Rhode Island all the way back home, give a shout out to where people can train under you, because obviously your gym and you've been training kids and everybody.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can come find you.
Yeah. So big shout out to my coaches, Ross Levine, Andrew Cornell, and Wassett. These guys are amazing over in Rhode Island. It's Ross and Andrew. The number one best team I've ever been at, period, is Pride Martial Arts. Those are my guys. This is my team. This is my home. I love these guys. Shout out to my coach, Wassett. He's been helping me with my jiu-jitsu, my boxing. I train a lot of jiu-jitsu for this Muay Thai fight. So I definitely, big shout out to him. Shout out to my training partners as well, from Kyle to Evan to David, and Barry, and Lewis, and Carl, and Joe, everybody. These guys are all, top training partners. They've definitely risen my game tremendously. And the most amazing shout out to my team at Artistry Martial Arts. That is my babies. That's my home. That's where I've been in my laboratory, in my hyperbolic time chamber, growing and learning certain little skills that people don't know about. My new finishing moves I'm gonna fuck this dude up with this weekend or next month. Sorry, not this weekend. But yeah, so like I said, I'm planning. I have a lot of good things happening. And I love everybody that's helped me so far. Each one of them is going to come with me. Okay, we're going to move this whole train forward for sure.
There you have it, Will Asia. We cannot wait to see you March 18th. Drive safely, and the over/under on that wheel kick or whatever you were working on. We saw that picture. What do you think?
For sure, it should be this. This should be, I want to say, a pretty guarantee that I'm going to land something spinning. Okay, I'm guaranteeing I'm going to land something spinning. Last time I played with the fella because I was just way better than him. I was like, for sure I beat this guy. But this time I'm going to try and knock a guy out. I got you. I got your finish this time, Hagloff didn't count. He was too good. Y'all fucked me up with him. But with Julie, I beat his ass. So this next guy, I got y'all. It's gonna be fun. Before y'all go, I got something. I'm gonna let y'all get a little listen. Y'all know what I like to do best. I'm gonna give y'all a little opening. Let's see. Tell me if you can hear. I know you probably can't see it.
What are you driving?
Come on, man. What you mean? What you mean? That was good shit. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. All right.
Thank you. Always, bro.
I'll see y'all. I don't know how to exit out of this, so y'all gonna have to do that part.
We'll extra.
All right.
All right. There you go. These are. These are definitely something.
Engine.
I think he has an eight cylinder, right? Yeah, because he was last time he was here, he was like flooring it in the parking lot, like doing like burnouts and stuff. He loves his car. He has his name on the side of his he's the guy that has that Instagram logo with his handle on his car. Like, man, he's a character, and this is why I love cage fights and why I love table fights, because like you get to see the character.
And you definitely got security locker. There's no doubt about that. That's going to be
man,
going to be interesting. But if he's looking to make an MMA fight as well, I mean, hey, Julian Connaughton, but
You almost just called him Julie. You almost just called him Julie. Julie. Yeah. King Julian.
Julian Connaughton.
Jiggy. We'll see how that all transpires. I'm excited for this fight.
Yeah.
His MMA fight. The certified banger right there as well.
Yeah, dude, Santi Munez. Card. I saw Julian was on watching for a little bit, and I didn't want to point it out because like I know that Will's that guy that will just go on a tangent. Like as you saw at the beginning of the show, you were trying to. I'm like, dude, we're not. I said to Johnny, I think I said it to you. I was like, we're not. He's just gonna go. This is the Will Asia show. We're just in his world.
Yep.
I
like it.
I
got swept up in it.
Yeah, you know what I like about it is that like because I see some people, obviously people, oh, he's a loser, he lost, or like, where's the confidence? They do. Like the outcome sometimes isn't as important. He feels when he went home, whether he won the decision or lost the decision, and it's not like he goes home and he's confident in his performance and what he did and what he showed for it. He can hang his head high, or whatever the case may be. Is like no one else that's throwing like shade his way. I love that he's up there because. Some guys would come in and be like, oh, you're 0-2. You shouldn't talk shit like that. It's just like, I actually rather Will Asia talk shit as an 0-2 fighter because we know it's genuine and that he's truly that guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to people that all of a sudden start trying the Conor McGregor tactic gig. And it's like, dude, that's not who you are. Like, come on, man. We're going to remember that Will Asia was 0-2 talking shit. And maybe one day he's freaking 15-2. And they're going to be like, oh, I bet he wasn't talking shit like that back when he was losing. It's like, no, the fuck he was. He fucking definitely was. This kid.
I understand that anime is all about the main character having difficulty with like an enemy, not being able to hit them at first, and going back to the drawing board and improving, and then coming back and winning after all. So he just knows that it's more about the experience. He's always going to live to fight another day. As long as he's always competing, then he's always going to get a chance at victory.
Yeah.
And he's got a big, tough task, but he's just such a stud that he's going to keep cultivating fans and keep growing.
And he's going to keep cultivating haters too. As they tell us, we don't want to hear about Will anymore. Stop talking about him. But also shout out to Julie Connaughton. He did comment. He said, don't apologize. I know he's got something going on upstairs. I'm not going to expand upon that comment. That's your comment. I'm not going to poke that bear. But as Julian is in the comments, Sandy Munez, huge fight. I mean,
oh shit!
I think did Julian win knockout of the year for Muay Thai? The year before.
Will Doolin did. Will Doolin.
Oh, with the elbow one, but he was nominated.
Yeah, he was nominated.
And then
it was the fastest knockout.
Yeah.
In Muay Thai. He said Muay Thai history.
Yeah. Julian, and I mean, he's with those Evolution guys. He had a great Muay Thai career. He's 1-0 now as MMA. So it's our first time we've seen him twice in the Muay Thai cage for us. This is his first time in MMA, but he has had an MMA fight that he was victorious in. Man, him versus Sandy Mudas is that's gonna be another one of those.
Yeah, and you know that Julian is
Julian threw a dig. He goes, "No, I lost with 60% of the vote." That was one of those ones because I remember thinking, I don't want to. I think he won the fan vote, but
yeah.
Hey guys, I think we're losing the battery. Mike. Hey Mike. Hey, I think we're losing the battery on that microphone. I think the microphone finally died. Sorry, folks. So who's going to do the bad lip reading for Cage Titans that needs to go viral on YouTube tomorrow? Let's play some charades. I think the blue.
is that on?
It is. I hear. I don't now.
All right, how about now, Joe?
Yep, we got you.
Cool. All right, guys. A little battery switcheroo. Now we're back in action. Finally killed our battery.
Hey, don't put the dead ones back in the green mic.
I'm gonna throw it out. This microphone's dead. All right, cool. We're good. We're back.
You're good.
Can hear you. What are you guys saying? We were just saying, Julian, that we love you, man. We can't wait for your fight. Yeah,
It'll be great.
and we're gonna get some security in the back, extra security in the back room, or try to put them on the up.
Two big teams.
Yeah, I mean,
Big
Triforce
crowds.
has 3 or 4 fighters on this card. Evolution has like 4 or 5 fighters on the card. So yeah, and I'll take the heat. I did not change the batteries in the mic. So
Both guys are dogs.
I will take the heat on the battery switcher. I'm gonna put these in my pocket. That's it. All right. Def can do that. Def do that. It's Julian Connaughton. I mean, they might fight at weigh-ins too. Who the fuck knows? But anyways, we saved the fighting. Just leave it. Don't even worry about it.
Just putting it on for insurance, right?
Leave it. And as you just not.
I know, I can't.
Andy, yeah, please. Now that sit down. We
Now
got
the
it.
microphone's fixed.
It
So,
was already done.
all right.
All right, here we go. So, what else? Do we got Peter Barrett yet? Or what are we waiting on?
Slippery.
Repeat. Let me text him. He said it's 9
Sitting out of
o'clock.
control, the microphone's dying, the cameras are shifting, but we're back.
Peter Barrett.
Any other monumental fights that we can think of?
It could be headlining.
I mean, that Ali Zabian fight.
Oh,
is-
holy shit. Davian and Bones are definite headliner.
I wonder what the odds are going to be on that one as far as like finish and decisions, and submission, knockout.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're really presenting the odds with Expectation Sports, I'm really curious. This is going to be one of those perfect timing with the first all-pro card where you can actually make odds and be able to bet on all
We
the
should
fights
do some
that are
fun
going on. So there's going to be some.
bets.
We don't set though.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah,
But
I've
they'll
been
set 'em.
saying that. Like,
And Julian, I don't know if Joe can see his comment. producer Joe, maybe we reach out and get Julian. He said probably on the show. I don't think we've ever had.
Yeah, no, he, I think that, on the last.
No.
Well, yeah, we can reach out.
He was on business, but yeah, I would love to have him on.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to be on the last time. We felt like.
Yeah, but this one, really, I mean,
I'd like to talk to
Totally
Munoz
get
about his
Julian
fight
Yeah, Munez.
because his fight.
we got to get Nico Mavromatis on as well.
We got so many.
Sure,
There's
yeah,
30
that's
fights right now, so
We're
only got a couple slots left because it's only 4 weeks ago.
We should let the fighters request.
Yeah. Or maybe one week we should just do an open mic one where
They
like
can
we
pop
send
in.
out the link and this is like, all right, cool. We can try to like rapid fire,
Line
like,
them up.
speed dating. It's like, all right, cool. And we can see in our queue who's on and it's like, all right, cool. We got this guy on, let's pull him in.
We used to do the open invite live in person shows where we would have virtually about 8 to 12 people that brought on the previous card that would be here in person. We'd be able to get down the line. There's clusters. There's old videos of us upstairs of clusters of people.
I remember.
So
That would be cool.
possibly be done online and just have a
Virtually,
rapid
it would be
bunch of
more
people come on
organized.
in. They don't have to listen to us muttering and babbling on and yelling about shit. And
I know Pete's texting me. He had sparring until 9 o'clock, so he should be any minute. So we'll kind of give him about 5 more minutes. Our goal was to be done by 9:30 tonight. Probably run a couple minutes late, but Pete will be on shortly. We have 10 spots. Yeah, we have 10 spots. Anywho, Peter Barrett, Mo Kinani, man, that's gonna be a good one, man. Just kind of think back to those and kind of like the shots. He didn't really fire shots, but he just kind of was like, yeah, man, he throws bombs, and that's kind of like I'm gonna pick him apart.
really just
Matter of
addressing,
factly,
addressing and assessing the challenge at hand. Really respecting it as a true challenge and an achievement in and of itself. Stepping in there with someone of the caliber of Peter Barrett at this stage in his career and motivation, and now and never, like you said, taking time off.
The fuck is this?
It's not getting any.
Oh man, finally, right on cue, Slippery Pete.
Perfect.
Slippery's logged in.
What
On the
up? All
counter.
right, yo, what's cracking? Hold on, my audio's fucked up in my truck.
You're connected to Bluetooth. Go, lightweight. Nope.
Can't hear you.
You can't connect to your Bluetooth because
Don't connect
What
to
the
the Bluetooth.
Oh, I got
There you
it.
go. Now
We're
hear
good.
you.
Go.
Yeah, good. You hear us?
Hi, rock and roll.
were you connected to your Bluetooth?
No, I'm plugged into my truck.
What's the
CarPlay.
Bluetooth?
Turn it up a little bit. We can barely hear you. We
Let me
heard you
call
better
back
at the
in.
beginning. What?
Okay, hold on.
Who knows?
Did he say he's gonna call back in?
You know what he's doing in his lap. He's probably more concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because he just got done sparring. He's like, you know what his first thing is when he gets it.
Mind recovery, yes. Important. Well,
I can't wait to talk to Pete. I always love to talk about Pete because he's always got some good conspiracies. And I mean, Johnny's a conspiracy guy.
The balloons.
The balloons.
I gotta get his thing. I was dying to ask him about stuff.
Oh, here he is. Here he is.
Can you guys hear me?
That's so much better.
There we go. Loud and clear.
All right.
Oh, okay, good, because I can't hear a thing.
Can't hear us?
Oh, maybe I know why. Do not disturb. No. Done.
Is your radio on? Turn it up.
No, dude, it's not picking anything on the fucking app. The last time I called into you guys, it worked fine using a different call-in feature.
But you've just heard me say that, so you can hear me now.
Yeah, because it's playing through my phone, so it sounds like a whisper.
Turn your volume on your phone up now.
Hey, do speaker.
Dude,
Oh, yes.
it's
Speakerphone.
the VM that's fucking it up. It won't give me speakerphone. It's not giving me anything. Hold on, let me unplug it from my fucking car.
There you go. Now we can't hear you.
Now we can't hear you.
Oh, you fucking cunt. Sorry, guys. I'm swearing live on TV. I apologize. Or on the.
Oh, shit, it happened. You're back. No one here gives a fuck.
Can you guys hear me now?
It's a conspiracy.
Hear us.
No. Try this again. Hey, can you hear me now?
Can you hear us?
Sound like an AT&T commercial.
Hold on, one person. Pete, can you hear us?
All right, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
All right. We're in communication like a
That's
Chinese
a
spy balloon.
Spicy meet the ball.
So Pete, Kinani, I know you were
Yo.
training. You didn't get a chance to probably watch. He said you're highly calculated violence. He's highly technical violence. Johnny, how did he?
Bro, that bitch just that fucking moron. That kid's a fucking idiot. He just decisioned a 7 and 10 kid from Guam and almost got beat in the process. Him and his whole fucking camp are morons. Why would you ever give this kid such a high quality fight at such a young stage in his career? The whole team is suspect. Nate Libby down.
Wow. Okay.
Give me that. Yeah, back that up. Old boy fought a 7 and 10 kid who has 17 fights within the Pacific region that almost finished him, and that kid hasn't fought anybody with more than a winning record. But Mo, 2 fights ago you got finished by an 0-0 pro. Tell me how tactical you are, you dumb motherfucker.
Okay. What do they say? Business is just about to pick up. Pete, tell us how you really feel, I guess.
No shit, dude.
So, what?
You know,
obviously, you told us what you think of Mo. I mean, there's got to be something that stands out for Mo, you that you have some concerns. Right? Anything that you see from him?
I mean, if looks could kill, he'd be a fucking rocket launcher.
I will say
He's one ugly bastard.
So Pete said to me, I think this kid was mean when I first mentioned the fight. He's like, yo, it was mean mugging me in the locker room. I had a feeling he was going to ask to fight me. And I did have to say to Pete, though, I said, Mo just has that mean mug face. Like he I don't know if he was specifically mean mugging you on purpose, but you obviously took it that way.
Dude, he's been saying stupid shit online for quite some time. Like, your mouth's writing checks, your ass can't cash, homie. I'm about to put your teeth down your throat and prove it to you. The kid's never been hit. He got hit by one guy who was 0-0. Granted, the kid turned around and beat Bruce Boyington, but Bruce Boyington's an old fucking dog in the game. There's no credit to that win anymore. Old boy got smashed by an 0-0 in the first round, mind you. Give me a break, dude.
So speaking of the old dog, part of the conversation lies in like Mo's an up and comer. You've been around for a long time. Does that play into you? Because it's. I mean, what do you think of that notion?
I mean, I'm about to hit the tunnel. I hope it doesn't fuck anything up. But what? How does my age play into? I'm young, fucking the freshest amateurs coming into this game. You know where my mind's at. You 3 know me better than some of the rest in this community. There's not an old hair on my body. You might find a white hair on my ball bag, and if you find it, you can have it. That's about as old as it gets.
He strikes me as a manscaper, so I don't feel like you have any hair.
I don't have any hair on my balls. You're right.
Where the hell is it?
Hey, but if there was a white hair, that's where it would be.
Oh man! So when we have Peter Barrett, they're always in for something crazy. So Pete, obviously you let us know. We're going to come back to the Mo Kinani. You're our resident conspiracy theorist. What's going on in the world right now?
Have you guys heard about Ohio? What do you mean? It's been a mass media cover-up.
Yeah,
essentially what happened in Chernobyl just happened in Ohio on Friday.
Yeah.
And the fucking I'm trying to use the right words so people don't think I'm ignorant. These morons, imbeciles, thought, hey, it's a bunch of toxic PVC mix. Instead of letting it slowly burn off, why don't we just blow it up? What happens when you blow up a whale that washed up on the beach? You just make the mess 10 times bigger. Why would highly volatile chemicals be any different? Give me a break. Dude, wait till you see the fallout from this. It's going to change everything. The Ohio River runs into the Mississippi. The Mississippi runs down to the Gulf Coast. You don't think the Gulf Coast has got enough trouble with all the oil we spill into it? Now we're going to dump all this highly toxic, volatile chemical material into it? Dude, we are just fucking going way off the other end with this shit.
So using that as a jump off point, I saw on your social media today. That's why the UFO stuff's coming out, to deter everybody from this whole chemical spill.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I would say anytime you see something that plays into like the public interest, they're trying to dissuade what's going on. Not to mention, or also to mention that the day that they hit everybody with the number 2, number 3, and number 4 was the same day that they announced that they were going to come out with, they were going to publish the Epstein flight logs, right? So this is going to implicate a lot of high profile, powerful, rich people. So if we get that full list, they're going to do everything they can in their right mind to keep our attention off of it. So look for some big false flags coming up. Look for some big things that like you're going to scratch your head and be like, is this really fucking happening? Because I guarantee if you dig a little bit deeper, something else is going on. I mean, there were 4 big things that happened right before the UFO stuff happened. And to say it's a coincidence would be flat out ignorant. Not to mention any of these UFOs that we see. Yeah, that might be extraterrestrial tech, but it's our own goddamn Air Force. It's our own government. They're our own things. We fly them at night so we can test them, and we let people think they're UFOs. Even the Tic Tacs, you can look up the patents. The Tic Tacs that they released the videos of 6 months to a year ago from the cockpits of the fighter jets that saw them over the Pacific. We have patents that prove that we can launch similar vessels out of submarines and control them in the air. So there's if you look into the patents that the U.S. Air Force has, a lot of this stuff can be explained by way of the technology that we know they have the ability to produce. It's just not known because people don't know where to look for it.
I got 2 things I'm thinking about while you're driving. What hand's on the wheel? Because you're talking with your
My
hand.
third hand. I gotta reel it in and be a little more appropriate. I'm driving with my knee.
2 more trains derailed since Ohio as well, he said.
Yeah, and you think it's just a coincidence that eggplant burnt down 3 weeks ago? Give me a break. You know what they're doing? They're starving us. If you paid attention to the World Economic Forum, you would see that they're trying to push fucking bugs on the people so they can save their steaks for themselves. They're literally pushing for a Hunger Games style reality. So what are they going to do? They're going to attack our food supply. Why? Because they're going to force us into these 15-minute cities, smart cities that they're building across the world. They've got one designed to go up in the Mojave Desert. They've got one going over in Dubai. They've got another one that they're speccing out in Africa. And there's another one, there's a 4th one. They're called like these 15-minute smart cities. And it's essentially going to be like that city in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie when they're living on that ring outside of the planet because the planet's like uninhabitable. They're starting to build those out in the deserts. So they're going to attack our food supply. They're going to put us incredibly dependent on the government. We're going to push for a totalitarian one world state. This alien invasion is going to aid in it because all the people are going to beg for fucking like, save us, save us. And then here comes this one world government. It's been their plan from day one. You can look into, old boy's name, what's his name? I just shared the video yesterday, about how the people that would benefit most from pushing us into the one world government are also the same people that have the technology to fake an alien invasion.
Pete, always something interesting. I always learn something crazy with you, man. I got to tell you, I enjoy it because I don't know if I agree with everything you say, but I kind of like, wow, man, this kid's in on this. You made me think of something, though. You said Hunger Games. It's pushing us to Hunger Games. Who's your Hunger Game partner?
My partner in crime. What do you mean, Africa?
You can't have your woman.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
just say
dude,
it's-
why not, dude? Why not? Like all the more motivation to be a fucking psychopathic killer to preserve our well-being. Will you tell me I'm going to have someone else next to me that I'm going to care about keeping them alive more than her? Not happening, dude. I would fucking go off the deep. Like, so ancient Greece, the most feared royal guard, right? In ancient time, ancient Greece, Greece or Rome, Greek. They were the Greeks. So the most lethal, feared royal guard were a band of lovers, and the two lovers, two men, were paired up to each other. And the theory was, if they saw their lover get killed in battle, there would be a blood rage unparalleled to anything, a bloodthirst, a bloodlust, and these people would just murk everybody around them. I'm taking that, motivation into making her my co-Hunger Game partner.
I was thinking, like, if you got in a bar fight, who's your bar for? I mean, you went totally different than I was expecting. But I guess,
well, dude, you gotta mix it. We're talking Hunger Games. You gotta mix the love story into it. Fans don't want an action movie without a love story.
All right, fine. All right, I'm on you. All right, so you mentioned 4.
And
my last thing, you mentioned 4. So we talked about the balloon. We talked about the the oil spill or whatever, the chemical spill. You mentioned the flight logs. What was the 4th thing that they were trying to track?
I would have to pull it up, but it was just on my story. There was the Epstein, there was the oil spill. I mean, we can always just say the southern border. We're finding Chinese nationalists coming across the southern border right now. Give me a fucking break. How about the 200 people from Haiti that just showed up in the Florida Keys? We spend how many billions on national security and defense, and we've got rickety rafts and fucking Chinese nationalists making it into the country. Give me a break, dude. We're the laughing stock of the world right now.
That was it. Actually, I think I saw your story earlier. It was like, we spent X amount of billions of dollars in government defense, and rafts and balloons are infiltrating our country.
Yeah, come on.
Let's just send Slippery Pete with Africa. Throw them out there. And just
dude, send us over there. We'll fucking wipe them all out.
Anyways, let's bring it back.
Slippery Pete to the White House.
Slippery Pete 2020. What is it, 2024? Yeah,
I've got a rocky history, man. You put me in a political scene, they would be like, what happened on this date? I plead the 5th. What happened on this date? I plead the 5th.
Hey, you know what you could do is say, I'll kick all your asses, and that would work.
Yeah, and then they tase you and throw you in jail.
All right.
No, they don't throw you in jail. I've seen.
So let's go back to Mo. Let's pull him up full screen. We did the same thing. Maybe refrain from smoking weed.
Prediction.
For this. Prediction for your fight with Mo Kinani.
I'm gonna fucking kill him with these 2 hands in the first round. Shh, it's a secret. I'm gonna fucking murder old boy.
What is it?
I said I'm gonna murder old boy, or this young buck, whatever the hell you want to call him.
All right. There we go. So, Pete, I was wondering if we're still going through like you were so quiet. We're still having the connection issues. So that was our secret. We're not supposed to tell anybody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna knock him out in the first round. Ain't nothing gonna change. There's nothing gonna change. Old boy's gonna feel the hands. He's gonna crumble. He's gonna kick me once. I'm gonna check his kicking. Like, I ain't gonna throw that again. All right, buddy. Don't worry. You ever seen a box of toothpicks fall? You will on the 18th.
There you go, Peter Barrett. On a fun note, what do you got in mind for T-shirts this time? You always got something cool.
I've been rapping with the Jameson or the Baileys, just something big and Irish, pulling that heritage. Maybe we'll go like Neolithic stone cave art stuff, but we got to make sure people recognize it. So maybe I'll do a Guinness with the tri-spiral, maybe the Jameson. I don't know. What we won't do is proper 13 because that's the most disgusting whiskey in the fucking world. Sorry, Connor. Stick to fighting, buddy.
Proper 12.
Isn't that what I
He
said?
has a new apple. He has a new apple flavor. Though.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's because Crown has an apple, and he's just a year and a half late to the game.
All right. We got a couple people saying Guinness, a couple people saying Jameson. All right, we got some ideas. Well,
I mean,
like it
yeah.
also.
What else? We could do. I'm open for recommendations, of course. But I figured something. Yeah, I thought about that too because I'm magically delicious, but that's just who I am. So I'll keep that to myself. But no, Lucky Charms was in the mix. But I think it's to do a Lucky Charms. There's so many colors. I'd have to put like 7 colors on the front. That'd be an expensive shirt.
Yeah. You got a couple of teammates before we let you roll. I see you stop, so maybe you're home. But what do you think? You got teammates like Tommy Lee Davis fighting on this card, Jerry Moose from Sidyatong. Then on the flip side with your Lozon squad, you got Gilbride and Valdina and Jacobs, and there's. You got a lot of guys fighting on this card. What's it been like in the gym preparing for this?
I mean, lots of good energy. Everybody's getting the good work. I would love to know how many of us are fighting on the day card, how many of us are fighting on the night card. But it's been good. We've been getting some small groups together to get the work in, just pushing each other, making sure we're working on basics, really hitting the fundamentals, making sure our defense is strong, making sure we can circle to the left with our guard high, circle to the right with our guard high. None of this stupid bullshit where you just sit in the 50-50 and trade the whole time. I'm going to make this kid miss. So we got to drill that way. And that's a lot of, what you would call boring drills. But when it comes time to fighting, maybe spend a third of the time actually throwing punches. The other 2/3 of the time you're trying not to get hit. So right now, I've been focusing on the 2/3 of not getting hit. So we're gonna see some fun stuff.
You're gonna actually try to hit and miss getting hit and hit back because usually you're not afraid to take a couple to throw, land a couple.
Yeah, I love it.
Is that getting old?
It's
Is that getting old?
It keeps me young.
Well, everybody's asking about the day and night. So right now it's 12 pro fights at night. The daytime card will be all amateurs with 1 or 2 pro fights. Mo's team is positioning to put you guys on the day. A couple people say Peter Barrett versus Mo Kinani is a primetime fight. You can't put that on during the day.
Bro, that could be the main. I thought that was the main event of the day. Last time we talked, that was the main event of the day.
Well, yeah, that's what they want. But then I've had a lot of fan pushback saying that's too prime time of a fight to be on during the day.
You know why? Because they don't want to buy 2 sets of tickets, the cheap fucks. If they went to the UFC, they would be there just as long, all day, all night, and they would have paid 3 times the amount to see a third of the fights.
Well, we got a stack card. I don't know how many of the fights you know about. Give me one fight that you're looking forward to seeing.
I mean, dude, honestly, I just
worries about himself.
I did, yeah, bro. I mean, I love to support my team and my teammates and help them get their things together, but you can only watch bits and pieces. If you find yourself getting stuck watched to a fight, your adrenaline goes, your cortisol goes, you might burn some energy unexpectedly. So you got to try to keep it calm and cool.
Producer Joe threw us a private comment. He goes, what are your thoughts on Ali's fight? Ali Zabian, if you haven't heard, Ali Zabian will be taking on Jacob Bone. 2 former
Where? For you?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Whoa. I thought I was getting that rematch. And he said, well, Mike, we got to have conversations before we get on air. Dog. You let that motherfucker fight? You let that motherfucker fight without fighting me again? That bitch? That little bitch? Come on. Dude, you know what's going to be awesome? When Bone fucking 2 pieces him up, bro.
Wow. Well, I will say this.
Beats her.
There was an offer out to fight you. There was an offer to fight Joe. And he was in talks. Jacob Bond, I think you knew, was fighting Brandon Marat. Marat pulled out. And when Marat pulled out, Bowen was fighting on the same card with two of his teammates. And it was very important that he stayed on the card because he really wanted to have the opportunity to fight with two of his students. Hickson-Baum, who was fighting Jerry Muse in particular. And I felt such a strong obligation that he wanted that opportunity to fight with his two students. I thought it was important to keep that fight on. And don't be surprised, Ali does have something up his sleeve. There will be call-outs in the event he is victorious. So he does know you want the rematch. He does know he wanted Giannetti. So there's definitely something there for him.
Cool.
I know you want that rematch.
I'm gonna throw this out there. When I knock Mo, however the hell you say his last name out, well, we're gonna have a hard time keeping that phone on the hook. All right, they've already told me. If they already told me, I've already got the emails in my inbox that says if anybody gets hurt in the next 2 months, you're on a short list of replacements that we're sending to those teams. So God forbid someone gets hurt between now and March 18th, and I get that phone call. Guess what? You know what it is, Uncle Dana. I'll drop everything. If I got to be there on Tuesday and it's Sunday night, I'm packing my bags.
Yeah, absolutely.
All other things equal, I fucking destroy Mo. We get that phone call because what? Now I've dusted off like 4 people in a row without any discrepancies. 3 tough veterans and then 1 up and comer. I mean, give me a better argument as to why I'm not back in the UFC or something better.
Yeah, Spencer Higa. Yeah, Jacob Bone fight.
Barrett.
Bone, of course, Bone, and then Bone turned around and took out. Bone turned around and won his last fight. So
Bakanowski.
And Bakanowski's has a pretty good record too.
So personal feelings towards Ali aside, because obviously we understand how that rubs you. Bone versus Ali, both former opponents. What do you think of that fight? Personal feelings aside, that you think you want to have Ali rematch. So,
I think if Bone doesn't push the pressure, it's going to be a very boring fight.
Who are your prediction for that fight?
And I feel like both of those guys are more like rise to the pace of their opponent type fighters, not pace setters. So we could be in for a very boring positioning battle.
All right. Prediction for a winner.
Jacob Bone.
All right, there you go. You heard it first. All right, Pete. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for the conspiracy hour. As we expand our live to every day of the week, we're pushing Johnny to get his half-baked, or what is it? Is it half-baked? Bake down? Yeah. What is it called?
Full baked, or
he doesn't even know his MMA bake down. MMA bake down. We're trying to get an Angry Andy rant hour. And we're gonna need a conspiracy.
An hour?
Well, I don't know, maybe not an hour, but we need another podcast, a conspiracy, something conspiracy theory there.
You're gonna rate an hour?
Just send them a link to my Instagram story. It's all you need.
Jesus Christ, I don't even look. We're friends, and I don't even look. I go 3 clicks on that, and I'm like, wipe. I'm like, I can't even look at all this. I did watch one of them that you put up today, though. The whole chemical thing. And I went to the link that you linked, and I was like getting a little into it. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up what's going on in Ohio. And not to mention, what was it? Fox sent a team down there to report on it, and the guy was literally accosted by local police and thrown out of the gymnasium for reporting on it.
So did they evacuate?
And hold the phone. I'm back. So, the Twitter files, the Twitter executives are being prosecuted right now. They're all going to jail for meddling with a fucking presidential election. Joe Biden's illegal ass should be thrown in jail too, not only for the shit with the election, his son's fucking laptops, but about his family, about showering with his fucking niece or something, about knowing that his son was like molesting his other kids' fucking kids, about, dude, are you kidding me? About Burisma, about fucking Ukraine, all of this shit.
I don't even know.
This was also another mass distraction.
Well, I was gonna say, I thought I vaguely read something about like now they made a big deal about going after Trump's classified files, but now Biden and other people, they've realized that Trump wasn't the only one.
Right. So now all of a sudden the news media tells you to stop caring about it and how different it is when, hold on, the vice president stole classified information. He doesn't even have the power to like sign a piece of paper that declassifies it. President Trump had that power to take those things, had them approved, had them declassified. The files that he had were approved to be at his residence from the archives. The files at Biden's house were not on record being there, and there was no visitor log of who could have accessed them. Everything at Mar-a-Lago has a visitor log. Anybody that could have been in the vicinity of those files would have been on a form that said this person was here on this date from this time to this time. Did they have that? No. Don't even get me started. And it's not even right versus left. It's more of just like the song and dance pony show to keep everybody distracted from what's really going on. Do you want to, you know what else was weird? You know what else was weird? The AI fucking robot dogs and Jason Derulo's pregame fucking performance. Anybody else think that was weird? He had the Boston Mechanic, the Boston Dynamics fucking AI robot dogs dancing in his fucking Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, that's some Terminator shit right there. Yeah, that's black.
Absolutely. They're mounting guns on those things in LA.
What? Dude, I'm just happy in my little bubble of fight world. I was like, if it happens outside of cage size, I don't even pay attention to it. I'm kind of glad I don't.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe it's
Jesus Christ.
It causes depression and anxiety.
Rally up the pilgrims.
That's all right. I pay attention so you guys don't have to.
Yeah. Well, I hope I'm one of your first phone calls when shit hits the fan, because you know I don't pay attention to much other shit. But like, I need a phone call, Pete. I want to be on that list of 5.
Mike, don't worry. When I go start my community in the hills of Montana, you'll be a part of the Homestead Project.
Nice. All right, cool. I got a place to go, man. Actually, me and my sister-in-law, we always, and my wife and her say, like, we always talk about starting a compound. We want to buy a lot of land and put 2 houses on it, called the compounds. And
well, you should probably do it like out. You should probably do it like out in Texas or Montana or Idaho, where like, you know, as long as you don't turn the TV on, the pandemic doesn't show up.
Yep.
all right, Pete. Well, I think enough conspiracy. I'm gonna be thinking about this shit. Johnny's already Googling it. Man. And Africa said she wants to go to a beach. She don't want to be in fucking Montana. Can we get a beach? Can we get a beach compound? Homestead?
Hey, we can go. I mean, I'm pretty sure Belize has a non-extradition policy, so we could go hide there for a little bit.
Is that Belize?
Yeah.
No. And then Rob Pico's nominating Valdina to lead the Gladiator squad for our homestead.
A gladiator squad.
Yeah, we need our own military, right?
You ever shot a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. All hands on, I suppose.
All right, cool.
It hits someone with a stick.
Tyler Pimentel said, we'll all freeze to death in Montana because not one of us have survival skills.
Well, you know, shit, we're going to build a homestead. We're not just going to live in the woods and teepees. We're not trying to recreate anything here. We're trying to have, like, you know, a house out in the woods with Wi-Fi. Give me a break.
We still want to massage guns and stuff. We're not fucking like savages. Jesus, Tyler. But Tyler, you'll be on my homestead list because I know you'll take care of me to survive.
He's already on like skinning moose and deer and
yeah.
So we got Tyler.
You know, everybody needs a particular set of skills to join the community.
All right, cool. Still don't know what mine are, but we'll figure it out. Well, Pete, thank you so much. I don't know what the hell you died. Good. You're putting the weed away. Good. All right, my man. Thank
Yeah,
you so
look,
much.
Later, boys.
Stop by with tickets tomorrow. Dropping them all off.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to slang these things like
All right, I'll be there
hotcakes.
tomorrow. I'll be there
Word,
tomorrow.
bird.
Bro, take it easy, Pete.
Jesus Christ, you never know what the hell you get with Peter Barrett.
Yeah, no, you know it's gonna.
I
be
mean, you
great.
do know, but you're like, Jesus Christ.
Everybody tonight, I mean, like, Mo was really calm and collected, but still, like, turn balls his way, but Malaysia and Pete both going on their own respective tangents. More excited for this fight card than I was when I woke
Here
up
we
this
go,
morning.
Tyler, with the money comments. I'll get to Montana and look off takeout. Very true. We'd be like, can you DoorDash and Uber Eats out here?
I ain't getting no seafood though.
No, not Montana. Yeah, man, great show tonight. I mean, honestly, all of our guests were,
Nick got some clips.
definitely Nick got some clips. Yeah, I hope he's watching, so I hopefully got some good clips of Mo and his assessment of Peter Barrett, because that was woo.
Didn't even get the chance to ask Peter his assessment. He just came out of the guns, just flying, and was not as friendly.
Which is crazy because Pete is brash, but like he's never really backfired up about an opponent. I mean, he has in the past, but like you look at his last few fights, he never really kind of came like that. Like I think he has a chip on his shoulder because you know this, and like he said, he's like, you know, who's this kid to come up? He's like he's an infant in the game. But I mean, then but to the opposite side, like Mo's 5-1 as a pro. He was like 8 or 9-1 as an amateur. I mean, the kid has 17, 18 fights. Yeah, Pete is 14-6. I mean, he did have like a 5-1 or something like that, or 5-3. So Pete's probably 6 or 7 fights up on him, but it's not that big of a gap as you would think because Mo had a much more extensive career in the amateur ranks.
Yeah, but still, you look at
Pro, yes, they have definitely big.
You look at his combined records of his opponents. He's fighting some people that are pretty new into the game, but that amateur record really goes to his benefit right there. He took him some substantial challenges and passed them all with flying colors and crossed an R. One loss. That's a dangerous debuting guy who's already on a surge at 2-0 in his own right. And it was a dogfight while it lasted. It was a 3rd round knockout, if I'm not mistaken. But he learned from
wrong
that.
In the first round.
He learned from
that.
that.
It was 3rd round, 44 seconds.
Yeah, he learned from that loss. Has gone on a real surge from then, and is the hungry contender who took on
he was 9-1.
took on the most tough opponent that he's had to date, and is looking to carry up on that momentum. And Pete, the way he's fired up right there, it sounds like he's someone who's ready to handle business, and he's speaking with confidence when he says that he's going to be able to put Mo Kinani out in the 1st round. And Mo was talking about bringing that technical violence and calculated chaos to the ring, and he's going to have to survive the storm and start implementing his game plan, get some respect early. And if he does that, this could turn into a legendary fight where there's some momentum shifts, and we'll see how the veteran holds on to that torch. Or is Mo Kinani going to be able to pass the test and take that torch from the veteran? You see the confidence in both guys. You see the respect from both guys that they have. But he is very confident that he's going to be putting it away in the 1st round and keep that momentum from the Barrett win.
Yeah,
I like it. I love the fight when it was made. I definitely think Pete's going to be a substantial favorite going into this fight. Again, the odds makers haven't had their meetings or whatnot yet, but always in a real good position here to cement himself and propel himself to the real top echelon with the win over Peter Barrett right here. And Peter Barrett, looking like he's just
you know what's funny is
rolling
that,
off the shoulder at the attempt of it.
Yeah, he's obviously fired up, Pete, and you know the fire is not gone. You know, you see a guy like this, you're like, hey, you know, so many fights. How does he get up off the couch every time with that tenacity? I'm pumped for that fight. I'm pumped for all of them. So yeah, man, thank you for tuning in for so long. Sorry, it was a little later show than we planned on it, but when you have Peter Barrett, you never know how long he's going to talk. He wasn't supposed to be on at 9. He shows up at 9:20. He goes to his own beat of his own drum, as you can all tell. Just wrapping up my thoughts for tonight. Tomorrow, Moy and I on TikTok Tuesdays at 12 at 12. We got a great topic to discuss. Is MMA a sport and rule set, or is it a martial art all of its own? And we kind of got on this topic. Last week's topic was, are you born a fighter, or can you be taught to be a fighter? Like, can you learn that fighter mentality? And as we were going through that, we started talking about skill sets and things of that nature, which led us to tomorrow's topic. Mixed martial arts, MMA, sport/rule set, or is it a martial art? Johnny, I'm sure you have some thoughts. Maybe, I know I trained at Social Sport Fighting when I got into the sport, and they said we train MMA here. That's what we train. We don't train, jiu-jitsu and this. We train MMA as a whole art. That was kind of my mindset. But Ken had some other good points that we're going to discuss tomorrow.
Yeah, that's sure.
And so that's all I got for you guys tomorrow. TikTok Tuesday with Kim Moy. Great episode. If you guys aren't on TikTok, jump on every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Kim Moy is super well spoken and a ton of knowledge in the sport, in all facets of life, business, and
Fashion,
tune in tomorrow.
violence, style, it's all.
Go to Tapology as my last wrap up. Go to Tapology. They have all the fights from the day and the night card. And you can actually go on there and vote for your win. Who do you think's going to win? How are they going to finish? Tickets are on sale, and our physical tickets are also in hand. So this week they'll be in your fighter's hand. In the meantime, you can also go to Cage Science on the purchase. I got nothing else. What do you got, Johnny?
No, nothing for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. Some great interviews tonight. Watched is that much more excited for these fights. Sure.
Yes.
Comedy night, Andy. What else you got?
Comedy night, yeah, that's coming up. The Flying Jew, Lee Sayat headlining. I don't know if he's headlined before, but he's a hilarious riot. I know him from the Church of What's Happening Now podcast with Joey Diaz from back in the day. So he's going to be returning to Coops and kill the lineup from some savages from Rhode Island. It's going to be another fun show, but yeah, that's a couple weeks away. Tickets are starting to go there. But next Saturday, yeah.
February 25th.
Well, just 25th, just shy of 2 weeks away. But all the fights, I was stoked for the Kinani versus Barrett matchup, just on paper, knowing my initial gut feelings of it, and knowing how much of a passing of the torch fight it is, and seeing them both present themselves and how ready they are. And
you say passing of the torch, though, that makes me think that you're implying that he's passing the torch.
No, but he's like it's that. No, but he's there's no belt, but he's defending the torch. He's not passing the torch off at all. Mo's coming for that torch. They fight for it. He just said tonight, he's like, fuck
get this
you.
out of my hands.
This is my fucking torch. Yeah. And I'll put you away within the first 5 minutes to keep this fucking torch. That's what we heard out of it. I wasn't saying that he's going to pass the torch, but that's how this fight is. Mo Kinani didn't even make his pro debut until Peter Farrell was already in the UFC. That's the distance that these guys are at on paper in their career. So tell me a different scenario where a passing of the torch wouldn't be the correct assessment there, but it's up to Pete to hold on to that torch. And you see how confident he is to do it, and you see how hungry Mo is at this time in his career. Go in, win a fight like this, and make it worthwhile while I put college off for a couple of years. This is the time and place for him to do it. And Pete's like, no, my torch. I like it.
My torch. It's my torch. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you. Cheers. See you next week. Boom.